Welcome to the show. This is Future Shock. I'm Edward St. Pé, and happy to be with you, coming to you from downtown Ocean Springs, Ocean 7 television. It's 7.1 over the air across the Gulf Coast, from about Gulfport back to the Alabama-Mississippi line. And then, and we're also on Sparklight Cable. And this show at noon is being simulcast, I guess you could say, and streamed on Facebook, Ocean 7, and Facebook, Edward St. Pé, and also on X. And so we're streaming it. We are basically a high-tech information show, I guess you could say. We try to keep you abreast of what's happening in the world of AI and other tech news, humanoid robotics, whatever it is. If it's out there in the AI realm, I'm interested in it, and I want to cover it and bring it to you. I guess, you know, this show sort of evolved over the last year, sort of evolved because, you know, as we started the show, this particular noon show, it was more of a general information show. We did a little more music and stuff, but as time went on last year, I mean, it became so evident to me that AI is such an important part of the future. And having experimented with it a little bit, I found that it's such a great tool to help you, you know, and help all of us really in whatever we're doing from a creative standpoint. For example, the television station, you know, there's a lot of things that you want to do creatively that are beyond your capability. Like, speaking for myself as a person with, you know, somewhat of limited capabilities, when you're getting into certain things which are out of your bailiwick, like you might want to create a jingle for your station. But I mean, you're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to hire people. You're going to have to, well, anyway, with AI, you know, a person like myself could create it. You know, I've got a few abilities. I can write some lyrics. I know what my concept is, and I can sort of visualize what the music I want to hear will be. So those are all prompts that you can put into the system to bring back to you what you're looking for as a finished product. ChatGPT 4. Well, that's what I used last year to create, you know, the music for the station and graphics and such. It's almost like, really, it's almost like science fiction in a way, because, you know, to be able to, when we had ChatGPT 4 before it became 4.0, which is even more advanced, right? And that's Alfred, that's our avatar that we bring out, that's 4.0. But, you know, even at 4.0, I mean at 4, before 4.0, you know, to be able to text in the specifics of a graphic that you want and have it develop the graphic in HD and send that graphic or that logo back to you is a real superpower, you know, and that's how I sort of look at the advancement in AI. It gives all of us a chance to add on to our latent capabilities and expand on that in a way that we weren't able to do before. So really, it is like a superpower, you know. And so, anyway, and it's fun. So I got excited about it, and that's why we do this show. So every day we try to bring you a couple of clips about what's happening. We had some big news over the last few weeks, really. We, the day after Apple announced artificial intelligence, or they announced Apple Intelligence, right? Which they had never spoken about that before in the history of Apple. They never talked about how they were going to, you know, infuse AI, or, you know, but they make the big announcement. And it was kind of big news, really, because a lot of people thought, well, you know, for the first time ever, you know, it's not just an AI that you have to go to, like open it up and use it, right? Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but when it's infused into the iOS operating system and the Apple phone or the Mac or whatever you're using, it will be integral to your computer experience. So let's say if you've got a calendar on there, or your emails or whatever, that's all now going to be infused with AI. So you're going to be able to use AI without even knowing it, you know. And I'm an Apple person, so you know, it's going to be sort of the beginning of the infusion of AI into our lives in a way that we're not even aware of, and we're going to start relying on it, and it's going to become, you know, beneficial. And of course, there's the other side of the equation. A lot of people say that, you know, the AI is great, you know, the concept's great, but what happens when it gets to a point where it's able to program itself, and you're able to go, let's say, not AGI, right now we're not anywhere near AGI supposedly, which is artificial general intelligence, where it knows everything about everything, okay, better than a human. So as we are right now, ChatGPT 4.0, they say, is on the plane of about a high school student, which I think that, I keep saying it, but I think that's really kind of absurd because it knows everything that's on the internet. It's pretty well advanced already. But ChatGPT 5, the next iteration, let's say, when that occurs, what is that going to really mean? Well, it means that all of the information across the planet, when the AI responds with a response, whatever it is, it's going to be on the PhD level of that particular topic, whatever it is. So that's where that is. Now that's ChatGPT 5, let's say the next generation, which is probably in the laboratory working just fine right now. We just don't know about it yet. They haven't released it. But once that happens, then it won't be very much longer where it is going to hit AGI, artificial general intelligence, which is what Ray Kurzweil and other futurists have said, is coming pretty quick. Maybe some people say 2029, other people say earlier. It's getting earlier and earlier lately, with all the developments. But with something like that, that's when it takes another leap up where it becomes potentially, well, the question is, will it be conscious and will it be sentient? And so the point is, when we're getting to where we're at now and be a little bit further down the line, when these systems start to be able to program themselves and be able to use their super intelligence to program themselves in ways that humans can't even imagine yet, then that's where, the potential issues could come up, because we won't know what it's doing, and it will be doing it anyway. So it would be like a science fiction film when the genie got out of the bottle, potentially. Of course, that's what some people say. And so I digress right now, but I'm just bringing it up because it's sort of something that's, it's potentially for real out there, so we just have to watch it very closely. So, yesterday we had a video on the advancements in humanoid robotics. We talk about it here. Tesla's doing it in the States, and Boston Dynamics is doing it. Other companies are really doing it, But in China, they're really doing it. I mean, not only are they doing it, but they are actually, as I have read, they are actually deploying the robots in the field already. We may be doing it on some level in America, but not to the extent they're doing it in China, as I understand it. They're deploying these humanoid AI-infused robots into the workforce to do work, and where it's actually happening right now. And so anyway, this is a continuation of that clip. Let's take a look at what they're doing with humanoid robotics infused with AI in China.
It's also incredibly exciting. Now, interestingly, Jeff Bezos and SoftBank have invested a staggering $300 million in a startup called Skilled AI. Now, it seems these folks aren't going for the whole lab-grown human cells brain in a robot thing. Instead, they're aiming to build a full-on artificial brain from the ground up. They say they're pioneering what they call a robot brain, which is about crafting a general-purpose AI brain that can be installed in any robot, making it capable of performing complex and varied tasks without needing specific programming for each task. Skilled AI, led by some brilliant minds from Carnegie Mellon, envisions a future where robots can handle adverse physical conditions or perform dexterous manipulations in industrial and household environments. They're pushing the envelope towards developing artificial general intelligence, or AGI, which aims to achieve human-like intelligence in robots. Now, there's actually another breakthrough in robotics, maybe not as crazy as human brains in robots, but still pretty wild. And Indian companies just jumped into the robot game, and they're not messing around. So Zen Technologies and their partner AI Turing Technologies have cooked up this four-legged robot. They're calling it Prahasta, which is apparently some badass warrior from Hindu mythology. And let me tell you, this thing's no joke. Picture this. A robot dog, but instead of fetching your slippers, it's carrying an assault rifle. Yeah, this isn't Boston Dynamics parkour bot. This thing's built for defense. Now, Prahasta's got some seriously cool tech under the hood. It uses something called LiDAR, which is like radar but with lasers to scan its surroundings. And it's got AI that helps it understand the terrain and plan missions. These guys released a video showing off what Prahasta can do, and it's pretty impressive. This robot's climbing stairs like it's nothing with a gun strapped to its back. It's hopping over obstacles and gaps like some kind of mechanical gazelle. And get this, they say it can even pick up a fully grown adult. I'm talking about a robot dog that can fireman carry a 180-pound person, which could be potentially life-saving in dangerous situations. If this robot gets knocked over, it can get right back up on its own. They're calling it auto-resurrection, which sounds pretty dramatic, but when you see it in action, it's hard not to be impressed. Now, they've also unveiled Barbaric URCWS. It's basically a remote-controlled weapon station that they're claiming is the lightest in the world, and it's not just for land. They're saying it can be used on ships, too. The folks at Zen are pretty hyped about all this. Their big boss, Ashok Atluri, is talking about how these robots are going to change the game for defense operations. He thinks this is going to make people sit up and take notice of how important robotics could be in combat and recon missions. It's worth noting that Zen's not new to this game. They've been in the defense tech business for a while, making things like anti-drone systems and combat simulators. In fact, they've shipped out over 1,000 simulators and training systems worldwide. So, what does all this mean? Well, we're looking at a future where robots aren't just in factories or delivering packages. We're talking about robots that could be on the front lines. But of course, just like with the brain chip robots, this raises some big questions. How much autonomy should we give to armed robots? What are the ethical implications of using AI in defense? These are heavy topics we're gonna have to wrestle with as this tech keeps advancing. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more AI.
Okay, well, that was a little bit on what they're doing in other parts of the world using humanoid robotics technology infused with AI. And as you can see, we really never have gotten into the potential of AI infused into weaponry, right? We haven't really shown much of that, although there are videos out there. But there's an example of the other side of the coin. You saw the robot quadruped with the gun strapped on his back. So there's another example of where it's potentially going, or it's already at. It's just a matter of time before that's going to be expanded and used all over the planet. So it's pretty well all-encompassing what's happening in that world of AI right now. Anyway, it's not just happening in the US, it's happening all over the world. Okay, we've got another clip on OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT 4, on their new Search GPT. I think it's called Search GPT. And Search GPT is an AI-infused search engine, something that would, I guess, compete with Google search. We think, okay, I'm going to Google it, right? Well, here's an AI-infused search engine. So what is that going to mean for the future as we go forward? I mean, will that make Google searches obsolete over time? Well, I don't know, but we've got a continuation of that clip. Let's take a look.
Holding story of AI-powered search engines. OpenAI's unveiling of Search GPT has been seen as a significant threat to Google's search dominance since the rise of ChatGPT in 2022. In response, Google has integrated AI features into its own search engine to fend off competition from rivals like ChatGPT and Perplexity, which is backed by Jeff Bezos. Despite these efforts, speculation about Alphabet's potential vulnerability to AI competition had not materialized, as evidenced by Alphabet's recent double-digit advertising revenue growth for its second quarter. Search GPT, however, represents a more direct and formidable challenge to Google than previous innovations. OpenAI described it as a prototype designed to combine the capabilities of their AI models with real-time web information, providing fast and timely answers with clear and relevant sources. Another really interesting aspect of Search GPT is the visual answers feature. While full details are still a bit unclear, it seems like this will involve AI-generated videos and images to enhance the search experience. This could be incredibly useful for visual learners or for topics that lend themselves well to graphical representations. OpenAI has been steadily moving towards tighter, real-time web integration for ChatGPT. GPT 3.5 was an early step in that direction with more current information. Then came the Browse with Bing feature, a basic implementation but a clear signal of their intent. Now, SearchGPT takes a major leap by making AI a central part of how we search the web. It's evident that OpenAI doesn't just want to compete with existing search engines, they want to fundamentally redefine how we interact with online information. By making searches more conversational and seamlessly blending up-to-date web data, they aim to create a smoother, more efficient user experience. This prototype phase is critical for working out any kinks and ensuring the system functions well for a wide audience before a broader rollout. They are obviously taking the time to gather feedback, make adjustments, and deliver a polished product. It's clear now that SearchGPT isn't just about finding information, it represents a reshaping of the entire search experience to be more engaging, visually compelling, and tightly interwoven with the ever-evolving web. So what's next for SearchGPT? OpenAI plans to keep iterating and improving the experience, especially in areas like local information and e-commerce. They'll be seeking feedback from both users and publishers to make the service even better. If you're interested in trying it out, you can sign up for the waitlist on their website. This SearchGPT release could really shake up the online search industry. With Google facing major antitrust lawsuits and new AI-powered search tools like SearchGPT emerging, we're seeing big changes in how people will find and access information on the internet. This is an area that's heating up, so it's worth paying attention as things are about to get competitive and disruptive. All right, now, turning to a more critical matter, OpenAI is struggling with major financial problems. According to internal projections, the company is expected to lose a staggering $5 billion this year. That's right, $5 billion. To put that number into perspective, that's roughly the GDP of a small country. So what's going on? Well, it turns out that developing and maintaining AI models like ChatGPT is extremely expensive. The company needs to pay for massive amounts of computing power to process all the data and generate responses. And we're not talking about just any computers, we're talking about supercomputers that can handle enormous amounts of information. But that's not all. OpenAI has also been hiring a lot of new staff to help develop and improve its AI models. In fact, the company has doubled its workforce in the past year alone. And all those new employees come with a hefty price tag. Now, you might be wondering how OpenAI plans to make up for all these losses. Well, the company does generate some revenue from ChatGPT, but it's not nearly enough to cover its expenses. In fact, estimates suggest that ChatGPT only brings in around $100 million to $200 million per year. That's a tiny fraction of what OpenAI needs to break even. So who's footing the bill? Well, it turns out that Microsoft is providing subsidies to help cover its losses. But even with Microsoft's support, OpenAI is still struggling to find a way to make its business model work. The problem is that their primary focus is on research, not generating revenue. The company wants to push the boundaries of what's possible with AI, but that's a costly and time-consuming process. And while ChatGPT has been a huge success, it's still not clear how OpenAI plans to monetize it in the long term. This raises some serious questions about the future of OpenAI. Can the company find a way to make its business model work, or will it continue to rely on Microsoft's subsidies? And what happens if Microsoft decides to pull the plug? The truth is, OpenAI's struggles are a reminder that developing AI is incredibly challenging and expensive. It's not just a matter of throwing a bunch of money at the problem and hoping for the best. It takes time, effort, and resources to create AI models that are truly useful and effective. But despite these challenges, OpenAI is still pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI. And that's something to be excited about. With its talented team and focus on research, OpenAI has the potential to make some truly groundbreaking discoveries. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumb.
Okay, well, that's a little bit more on ChatGPT 4. As you can see, you know, it's not making money, it's losing money, but it's breaking ground in the ever-evolving world of AI. You know, so you can see Apple just chose to use ChatGPT 4 infused into the Apple iPhone. So I think, you know, that's a big thing right there. And so they're not making money, but you know, Amazon didn't make money either in the beginning until it started making a lot of money. So Anyway, it's going to be interesting to watch the situation. I use the ChatGPT 4, and we bring Alfred on, who is our ChatGPT 4.0 droid, and I think it's just a fabulous product, a productivity tool to immerse yourself in, if at all possible, so that you be up to speed as things progress. Okay, but this is our segment where we talk about Pendragon Apothecary. That's the sponsor of this show. And Pendragon Apothecary is a bricks and mortar store. It's a little apothecary shop in downtown Ocean Springs, and we're also online at pendragonapothecary.com. We've got an array of tinctures, medicinal herbs, tincturized. You get it in your system that way, sublingually, right into your bloodstream. We've got Blue Lotus tincture, and we've got various mushroom tinctures. And then we have the mushroom powder. So if you want lion's mane, we've got pure organic lion's mane, mushroom powder. Put it in your smoothie, whatever. Get it in your system. It's good for cognitive issues. They use it in Indian medicine, in Vedic medicine, and also in Chinese medicine for cognitive issues. They've used it for thousands of years. And all the other mushrooms we've got, all the medicinal mushrooms, the 7 sacred mushrooms are all here at the Pendragon Apothecary. And I want to mention, if you're getting a little bit, world weary from time to time with all of the news out there that sort of makes us tense, you could also find a little bit of serene pleasure with a cup of chronic fatigue tea. And this is a product that we've got here at the apothecary. Now let me tell you why it's so fabulous. It's because it's all wild-crafted and organic herbs. And what is in chronic fatigue tea? Okay, it's organic and wild-crafted: sarsaparilla, nettle, skullcap, ginkgo, hawthorn berries, astragalus root, and ashwagandha root. So even ashwagandha is in this one little tea. And so what you do to basically benefit from the tea is you take a moment to make the tea before you go to bed at night. And that's how you do it. Yeah, what I have started to do, as I've become more involved in all the herbal products and such through the last few years, is I keep one of these little glass kettles in my bathroom, so I can boil the water really quickly before I go to bed, and I can make tea. And so this is an example of a tea that's got all of the ingredients, all of the herbal ingredients that are helpful to the body, and you get it in your system at night. We talk about the products that are adaptogenic, which is sort of a general term. Adaptogenic meaning it adapts to what your body needs. So you get these herbs in your system, or whatever. We've got a whole array of teas. It's online, pendragonapothecary.com. You can see, how this will be a way while you're sleeping, your body is resting, and the tea works its beneficial magic in your system. And so it's an infusion of herbs into your system, hot water infusion of herbs into your system. And it really does help. And some teas will help you sleep, like the Blue Lotus, for example, Blue Lotus tincture or the Blue Lotus tea. And we have the Blue Lotus infused red wine too. It's an anti-anxiety product. It's been used, 10,000 years ago, they were using it in ancient Egypt. And it was very much infused in their culture, the ancient Egyptian culture. It's in the tombs. It's the hieroglyphics on the wall. We've got, embedded pictures of people using Blue Lotus for that purpose, to get into a meditative state and to pray and to anti-anxiety, right, as a gateway to sleep. And so these things are not new. They've been around forever. And I think, it seems to me like with everything that's happening in the world of AI and everything happening technology-wise and everything happening across the planet, the general zeitgeist, people are more aware now of these types of things. Stay well in the first place, don't get sick. And instead of treating the illness or the conditions that have been caused by the illness, don't get sick in the first place. So if you can find some hacks, biohacks, to stay healthy in the first place, do it. And the best way to do it is to get educated, read, Google it, find out stuff. Find out about what the medicinal benefits are historically for herbs like Blue Lotus. 10,000 years ago they were using it, and the Vedic medicine and from India and the Chinese medicine. It's been going on for thousands of years, so it's nothing new. But it is something that's sort of new now to the Western world, I guess. Maybe it's sort of, for the first time we're discovering this and finding out, hey, it really does work. So anyway, you got to be a kind of a critical thinker and do your research, and you'll find a lot of things you can do to be proactive in your health and you don't get sick in the first place. And if you do get sick, well, then you try to get well, and by using every available means to get well, So that's it for our spot for Pendragon Apothecary, and thank you for spending that moment with me on Pendragon Apothecary. Okay, pendragonapothecary.com. We just shipped. I wanted to say it again. I said it the other day. I was excited to get a note that we had a sale of Blue Lotus on the website in Brooklyn, New York, and it was Blue Lotus of all things. We sent Blue Lotus tincture and Blue Lotus red wine to Brooklyn, New York, and so people are from all over, are using it and discovering it. Okay, that's it for that. All right, now we've got one more video today. I think we're going to talk a little bit about the AI embedded in the smartphones. Okay, we were talking about Apple Intelligence and how Apple is going to infuse ChatGPT-4 into the iPhones, starting with iPhone 16, and that's coming up. They're working on it, so you can look into that on YouTube, and you can find some clips on that and find out about what's happening with that. But the idea that not just Apple, but all of the smartphones are already becoming infused with AI, and if they're not already, they will be soon, including Apple. So let's take a look at the continuation of this clip on AI infused into the smartphones.
Help us out without invading our privacy. Apple is leading the way in using AI for security in its products, especially in mobile devices. One great example is how they've integrated AI into their Face ID technology, which is available on many newer iPhones. Face ID uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to recognize your face and make sure only you can access your phone's information. This technology is a big step forward in keeping our data safe on our phones. With Face ID, we can feel more confident that our information is protected, even if our phone gets lost or stolen. Number 6, predictive maintenance. AI-driven predictive maintenance is a big plus for smartphones. Instead of waiting for something to go wrong, AI keeps an eye on the phone's performance all the time. It uses smart algorithms to spot any possible problems before they get worse. This proactive approach helps prevent sudden crashes or when the phone slows down unexpectedly. It makes sure everything's running smoothly. What's great is that AI can learn how you use your phone and make sure it's using its resources in the best way possible. This means your phone runs smoothly and lasts longer, which is great for you and your wallet. Thanks to AI, our smartphones stay in top shape and keep us happy for longer. Number 7, context-aware smart assistants. AI enables smartphones to become more context-aware, incredibly intuitive and helpful. It enables our phones to understand our environment and adapt accordingly, almost like they have a mind of their own. Imagine you're in a new city and you're looking for a place to eat. With AI-powered location services, your phone can instantly show you nearby restaurants, reviews, and even special deals. It's similar to having a personal tour guide who knows all the best spots. But it doesn't stop there. AI also takes into account other factors, like the time of day and your daily routine. If it's morning, your phone might suggest your favorite coffee shop on the way to work. Or if it's your usual gym time, it might remind you to pack your workout clothes. This level of awareness and adaptability turns our smartphones into more than just tools. They become intelligent companions that anticipate our needs and make our lives easier. It's a personal assistant in the palm of your hand, ready to help with whatever you need whenever you need it. Number 8.
Okay, so there you go. There's the AI infused into the iPhone or to infuse into whatever phone you're using, where now it's integrated into your life. And so that's the next step, and that's about to happen right now. So here we are. So thank you for being with us today on Future Shock, and we're happy to be with you every day, streaming and over the air on channel 7.2, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yesterday is yesteryear. Set your sights for Tomorrowland. Future Shock is here to help you make your stand.
Ready, set!